Are you telling me that the Hollywood premiere has been canceled also? Huh. The Hollywood premiere has been canceled also. My, oh my. This might be Disney's biggest flop of all time.
You know, watching the absolute calamity that is Snow White unfold over the past year or two, I'm reminded of those dudes up in the lookout tower on board the Titanic. They spotted the iceberg looming ahead of them.
You saw it coming.
To the bridge, even though they probably could have just shouted. I mean, it doesn't look that far. And now there's nothing they can do except watch as their shiny new boat plows straight into 100 million tons of frozen water. Uh-oh.
Yeah. You know, this whole thing reminds me of the Titanic. Disney, you saw the iceberg coming. That big woke iceberg that you just had to hit. And now it's sinking your ship. That rhymes, ain't to play the game. Bars. And we told you.
Oh, the insurance company's going to be feeling the pain tomorrow. The point I'm making here is that anyone with even a surface level understanding of the film industry, plus legacy entertainment journalists who like to pretend it still matters what they think, has known for a long time that this movie was headed for absolute disaster.
Yep.
Whether it was the baffling casting choices, the laughable DEI parade pretending to be...
Every time I see her, I just think about how I saw that video where she was saying she's a white Latina. She's not a white Latina. She's not a white Latina. She is a brown Latina. You know how many Latin people I know that look like her? And they never once have called themselves white. I think that's what she wants to be. That's the issue.
Dwarves, the nightmarish CGI monstrosities that replaced them, the hypothetical star whose complete inability to shut her mouth quickly and efficiently turned her into one of the most toxic celebrities in Hollywood, or every piece of official media released about this film getting ratioed so far into oblivion that it practically formed its own quantum singularity, vanished out of space and time, and emerged on the other side of the universe, Event Horizon style.
Here we go. Oh! I was like, why didn't they make the dwarves different races since they're so hell-bent on switching everything? And I was like, oh yeah, the dwarves were put in after the backlash from the fans about the whole 7 magical creatures crap. So they made them originally, was it a German fairy tale? So they made them all German dwarves. Interesting.
The warnings were all there, and they've been discussed at length by every content creator on YouTube, but now at last, we have come to the crunch, dear viewer. The last few days before the movie releases, when the old PR machine has to grind itself into high gear and take on the seemingly insurmountable task of getting people enthused for Snow Whites. Well, I think it's fair to say they've got some hurdles to overcome. Hurdle the first is the dire box office predictions, with the film expected to make just over 50 million on its opening weekend, which is only slightly higher than the Marvels managed, and that movie eventually struggled up to $200 million worldwide.
You play Captain Marvel.
I don't know. I don't know. Does anyone want me to do it again?
Yes, Bree, I want that. I want that with all my heart.
He was like, don't be modest.
Not very good for a film with a reported budget of 300 million.
We both had the same laugh. That's funny.
The second is the widely reported spat between Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler.
Why is she walking like that?
Very different perspectives on the whole Israel-Palestine issue, which means it's hard.
You think, no chance. No chance now. You think that was playing when she walked out?
And enough to get them to even share the same room. Never mind go through the kind of excruciating, fawning interviews where they clutch each other's hands and pretend to be soulmates or whatever, which seems to be expected at this point. Damn man, all we're missing is some guy who sounds like he uses sulfuric acid as mouthwash to ask them about the gayness level of their movie.
The gayest Marvel project yet.
You know, the kind of big questions that clearly need to be asked about the art of cinema.
Yes.
Yes.
But the biggest hurdle, and this truly is a biggie, is that the film isn't even getting a traditional premiere anymore.
I used to mess with this chick where every once in a while she'd be like, yos. Yos.
It was reported a couple of days ago that the film's intended UK premiere in central London has been cancelled because of fears about the backlash to the movie and its star.
Backlash!
What happened? What happened? Oh no, how terrible. That's just awful. How terrible. Oh no.
And to be honest, I can totally understand why they did it. The potential optics of Rachel Zegler and the rest of the cast getting publicly booed by a big crowd at the premiere of their own movie would be the sort of thing that goes viral within a matter of minutes. The problem is, this is kind of like digging one hole to fill another, because cancelling a major premiere means less publicity, and less publicity means less interest in the film. It's also a very public acknowledgement that yes, people really don't like our movie because we don't know how to win them over, and all we can think to do now is run and hide. That was all bad enough by itself, but then the news broke yesterday that even the film's US premiere is being drastically scaled back, which means no red carpet event, no real media presence, and no chance for the stars to speak to journalists and promote their movie. Red carpet events are actually pretty important media tools to promote your film, and the fact this movie isn't even getting one is a major sign of Disney's lack of confidence in it. Again, I can totally understand the thinking behind it, because let's be real here,
Keep showing that. What? I need to see that clip.
Rachel Zegler in front of a hot mic is a bit like putting a toddler with ADHD in charge of a nuclear launch button.
Oh, yeah.
Every time she opens her mouth, and by God, she loves to open her mouth, you can practically feel the Disney bean counters dying inside because she just shaved a few more $1 million off the film's box office. It's funny, actually, because she even tried to spin all of this backlash into some kind of weird positivity, a bit like Henry Cavill did with The Witcher, except without the sincerity, or honesty, or respect, or charisma, or general likability. Quote, I interpret people's feelings about this film as passion for it, and what an honour to be able to be part of something that people's so passionate about. We're not always going to have the same feelings as everyone around us, and all we can do is give our best. Really? That's an interesting change of heart you've had there, Rachel, considering your previous attitude towards people who think differently
Unfollow.
from you.
I don't need your business.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button. I don't need your business.
Right. You need it badly.
The thing is, hiding a problem away isn't the same as actually solving it, and the more you retreat from a controversy like the one swirling around Zegler, the more you're forced to acknowledge that it does in fact exist. She's the one who caused it, and you don't know how to fix it. If you demonstrate a lack of confidence in your film and its star before it even releases, you're sending out the message that you know it's gonna suck, and you're simply trying to hunker down and minimise the damage. And wow, this movie's likely to cause quite a bit of damage, not just to the concept of live-action Disney remakes, but to the company itself. At this point, it probably would have been better to just abort the theatrical release altogether, shart it out onto Disney Plus and take the financial hits. At least that way, Disney could make up some obscure combination of viewing metrics to spin it into some kind of success. This film had the most number of minutes viewed on a Thursday afternoon for any live-action remake of an animated film made in the first half of the 20th century.
They love doing that, don't they?
Instead of being confronted by the raw box office numbers, which, well, aren't looking good. Shit, man, it probably would have been cheaper and easier to remove Zegler from the movie altogether and reshoot all her scenes with a new actress.
It's Hollywood, baby.
Oh well, just like those guys in the lookout tower watching that iceberg drift closer, there's not much more for us to do now except sit back, crack open a couple of cold ones, and wait for impacts. Something tells me it's going to be an entertaining couple of weeks.
Yeah. Weird. Well, I'm going to watch it like I would be going to sit down to watch Troll 2. Like, that's how I'm going into it. I'm going to see. It may be so bad it's good, actually. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Anyway, that's all I've
Hey,
got for
Sweeney.
today. Go away.
Oh, God. This has got to be the biggest Disney disaster I've ever seen brewing. This is so interesting to watch. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you all thought. If you enjoyed The Drinker, get over there and subscribe. And hit the like button, subscribe here. See you later. 10 million subscribers. Woo!